What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the Ballers Club. It's your boy BallHawkBird, the one and only Mr. Ballafall, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything Under the Sun will get done because your boy is best beyond. Listen, man, it's the third video I've recorded out here. Like I said, I wanted to get outside, give a little bit of better scenery today, but I want to go ahead and get into the topic of not letting our feelings, not letting our emotions get the best of us. And not always just necessarily when it comes to other people, not always necessarily when it comes to, dealing with our significant others or anything like that, but also when it comes to trying to achieve our goals in life. Also when it comes to trying to achieve our purpose in life. Like I said, a lot of times when we're chasing our purpose, a lot of times when we're chasing our goals in life, man, and I'm speaking from experience, man, your goals, your purpose, the things that you're after, when you have yet to attain them, when you're on the road, when you feel like you're busting your ass trying to attain them and, get better and, so on and so forth, you may feel like, damn, like, this thing is beating me up because you're not where you want to be yet. And a lot of times these are our emotions that will, not only consume us but eventually distract us. And what I mean by that is, if I'm so caught up in the fact that I haven't achieved a goal, and I'm letting it, make me angry, I'm letting it make me upset, I'm letting it make me sad or emotional or down, we can become so caught up in these emotions that we don't continue to push forward. We don't continue to look through the positive lens and say, you know what, this is still the goal. This is still gonna get accomplished. And like I said, I speak from experience when I say these things. I think about the times when, I had specific football goals, when I had specific goals in track. And, the goal didn't end up getting achieved until the end of the season. But I'm, at the beginning of the season mad that I don't have 3 picks a game. I'm at the beginning of the season mad that I'm not running a certain time in the hurdles. So I think about these things, and had I just put that intention, had I just put that emotional effort into saying, you know what, I'm gonna continue to push forward, I'm gonna continue to go after my goal, I'm gonna continue to let this, even if I am upset, I'm gonna let this fuel me to go forward. Sometimes I'll be so down on myself where I'm like, you know what, man, I don't even want to watch film today. I'm so down on myself because it's like, man, I don't watch all this film, I didn't get 3 picks this game. What's the point of watching all this film? So I just say all this, I just think about all these things, because if our emotions consume us, we don't really allow ourselves to be our best selves. And it's a proverb from the 12 Universal Laws of Success that I read. Now, it's not a proverb that he said in his book, that he said directly, but it's a proverb that, he quoted inside the book. And the proverb, I have it right here, it says, "He is a fool who cannot be angry, but he is a wise man who will not be." So what does that mean? What do I think about when I hear that? He is a fool who cannot be angry. It's not to say that I can't ever get mad at the fact that I'm not achieving my goals. Honestly, it's a bit of a good thing, but like I always say, too much of anything can be bad for you or is bad for you. So if I'm letting my emotions constantly sway me from left to right, if I'm letting my emotions constantly, consume me to the point of where I can't do anything, that's a bad thing. But also on the flip side of that, if I don't care enough to the point where I don't even get emotional about it, what am I doing it for? If I don't care enough to the point where I won't, ever let it break me down to the point where I'm crying, if I won't ever let it get me to the point where it's kind of beat me up a little bit, do I really want this as bad as I say? So that's why it's a thin line that you have to straddle sometimes, because wanting your goals, they should make you emotional. The fact that you want that goal in the first place is probably linked to some kind of emotional attachment that you have with the feeling of achieving that goal. So the fact that I haven't achieved that goal, of course, is going to make me emotional. But Should I always be emotional about this? Should I always be emotional at the fact that I don't have it right now? Or should I always have negative emotions at the fact that I don't have it now, as opposed to having positive emotions and knowing that it's coming, as opposed to having positive emotions to know that it's on the way, as opposed to having these positive emotions that know, okay, you're working your ass off. It'll be here sooner than later, or later than sooner. But nonetheless, why would I let my emotions sway me away from continuous forward progress? Why would I let my emotions sway me from wanting to continue to go at my goal? So like it says he is a fool who cannot be angry, not the one who can get angry. Just because you can be emotional about something doesn't make you, a bad person. It doesn't make you, any less than anyone else who probably doesn't care about it as much. The person who doesn't care about it as much, 9 times out of 10, doesn't cherish it as much. Therefore, they'll let it slip out of their hands and it'll be gone from their life forever. So when I say these things, when I think about these things, like I said, like, understand that, like the proverb says, he is a fool who cannot be angry, but he is a wise man who will not be. It's more wise of me to say, you know what, as opposed to getting mad as hell, as opposed to feeling so down about this, let me continue to come up with my plan. Let me put my emotional feelings right now, let me put my emotional energy into saying, okay, or doing what it is that's going to push me towards my goal. If I'm mad, if I'm sad, let me go to the gym so I can continue to get bigger, as opposed to, or smaller, whatever the case may be. If you're trying to lose weight, why continue to get down on the fact that you're not 30 pounds down from your goal yet? As opposed to saying, you know what, man, I'm feeling down, man, but let me go put this energy into this treadmill. Let me go put this energy into these weights. Let me go put this energy into going outside and just taking a walk. Sometimes we got to go outside and just take a walk, man. And like I said, I just think about these things because, bro, like, we can have everything we want in life, but a lot of times your emotions can get the best of you. You think about all of the people in the world who committed a crime, let's say committed a crime, some kind of emotional attachment towards doing what it was that they felt they needed to do in that specific situation, whether that was killing somebody, whether that was robbing somebody, whether that was like whatever kind of crime it was connected to some kind of emotional attachment, which isn't specifically negative in itself, but they let the negative thoughts overcome them. And I know that this may be a little bit confusing, because it's honestly a little bit confusing to me when I try to break it down in the way that I understand it in my mind, verbally to you all. But like I said, when we allow our emotions to consume us to the point where we will do something totally out of character, that's what I'm getting at. When we will allow our emotions to allow us to do something that's totally out of character, how can we thrive? When we allow our emotions to allow us to do something that's nothing like you or me, when it's nothing that my purpose-driven self, when it's nothing that my goal-oriented self would have done, that's when it becomes a problem. So that's what I think about when I think about that proverb. He is a fool who cannot be angry, but he is a wise man who will choose not to be. Because if I can't be angry at my goal because I don't care about it enough, or if I can become too angry at my goal because I care too much that I haven't achieved it yet, that makes me a fool. But I'm going to be a wise man, and I'm going to say, you know what? Just because I'm not there yet, it's okay. Just because I haven't made it there yet, it's okay. Because it's on the way, because it's coming soon. So, like I said, man, I know I've made this video, and I hope that, what I've said has, really been able to resonate with you. I hope that what I've said really makes you understand that, it's not bad, it's not negative to have emotions towards going after our goals, because that's what we're supposed to do. Like I said, our goal is connected to some kind of emotional attachment that we have to the feeling that we believe that we'll have when we achieve our goal, when it's all said and done. But we can't let our emotions overcome us. We can't let our emotions consume us to the point to where we can't think straight, to where we can't achieve our goal in the manner that it's supposed to be achieved in, because we're too consumed with our emotions. We're too angry. We're too high, or we're too low. That's the point that I'm trying to get at. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try to be done within the next minute. We can never be too high, too low. It's not to say that you can't be excited. It's not to say that you can't ever be down, but you can't ever be too high or too low. You have to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna stay level-headed, because when I'm level-headed, that's when my brain processes things the best. When I'm level-headed, that's when I can, make decisions without the pulling of too much optimism or too much pessimism. I think that's the word. So, like I said, I just say all of these things to just say, man, like, continue to go after your goals. Don't let, whether you have it or not, or don't have it yet, don't let whether, it still seems so far-fetched really keep you from the fact that, it's on the way. And don't let your emotions, get you so down or so up or too high or too low to the point where you can't stay level-headed to actually achieve the goal at hand, man. So I just say that, like I said, I hope that this video resonated with somebody. I hope that this video, was really something that can touch y'all heart. I hope that this video was, something that everyone can understand, man. If you're not a part of the BallHawkBird family, if you are a part of the BallHawkBird family, first, I have to say thank you, man, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. You're here with me right now. You're here listening to this conversation. You're here getting your mind right. You're here, learn about life, learn about the things that I think about. And, I feel like that's something that's real important to me. I don't take no pride in that, man. A lot of times, man, when y'all watch these videos, y'all listen to things that I feel like are important. That's why I say, at the same time, comment down below what y'all want to hear. But either way, man, right now what I want y'all to do is comment a number 7 in the chat. Like I said, that's a number of completion. That's the, my favorite number. That's the number of, being complete in your life. And man, when you do everything that you can do to get to your goal, you will be complete eventually, man. So, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all coming to the Balls Club meeting today. It's your boy BallHawkBird, the one and only Mr. BallHawk, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything under the sun will get done, because your boy is best beyond, man. And I'll see you in the next video.